Throughout history, handguns have been continuously developed to meet the needs of war, self-defense, hunting, and sport. This process has produced many legendary models, symbols of the progress of science and technology, such as the AK-47, M1911, Glock 17, and Winchester Model 1873. However, there have also been disappointing designs, making people wonder why such bad ideas were put into production. The Shasha gun is a typical example. Although it was put into service in the fall of 1916 and possessed great firepower, the Shasha was still considered a great failure. The design was crude and the production was substandard, mainly because it was made in a bicycle factory in Paris. The workers had no experience in making guns, leading to the production of guns with reliability problems. Furthermore, poor quality materials and substandard heat treatment also reduced the effectiveness of the gun. The Shasha used the 8mm Libel bullet, the standard ammunition of the French army at that time. However, using this type of bullet required a semicircular magazine design, which was one of the gun's biggest weaknesses. The magazine only held 20 rounds, was easily deformed, and was susceptible to mud and dirt due to its open design. As a result, the Shasha became one of the most criticized guns in military history. In combat, the Shasha was not only prone to jamming, but also suffered from frequent overheating problems, making it one of the most frustrating weapons in military history. In use, the Shasha tended to jam after about 300 shots when properly maintained, or after only 100 shots if the gun was dirty. This meant that many French and American soldiers paid with their lives when the gun jammed in critical situations. Furthermore, when the gun overheated, the gunner had to wait at least 10 minutes for the gun to cool down before being able to continue firing, which significantly reduced its combat effectiveness. Not only did it have problems with jamming and overheating, the Shasha was also notorious for its recoil, which could injure the gunner if he did not know how to hold the gun properly. The design of the gun was unstable, with only a flimsy base and an inaccurate aiming system, making it extremely difficult to hit targets at long distances. In fact, hitting a target at a distance of more than 100 meters with the Shasha was considered a feat, and at a distance of 400 meters or more, it was almost impossible. All these factors made the Shasha considered a useless pile of scrap metal in the eyes of French and American soldiers, becoming a symbol of failure in weapon design and production. Similar to the Shasha, the Italian Breda Modello 30 is also considered one of the worst machine guns ever produced. The standard light machine gun of the Italian army during World War II, the Breda Modello 30 was famous for its complex design and difficult maintenance. The manufacture of this gun required more machining than contemporary models such as the ZB VZ26 or Browning M1918, but did not bring about the same effectiveness. One of the biggest problems with the Breda Modello 30 was the closed breech design, which prevented the gun from circulating air, leading to heat buildup after each shot. This not only reduced performance, but also posed a high risk of the bullet exploding even when the trigger was not pulled, directly threatening the safety of the shooter. To solve the problem of bullet escape, the gun was equipped with an integrated oil tank to lubricate each bullet. But in harsh combat conditions, such as in the North African desert, the oil became a magnet for dust and sand, making the gun more prone to jamming than ever. Both the Shasha and the Breda Modello 30 are painful lessons in the failure of weapon design and production. Mistakes in the design, maintenance, and operation of these guns have left a dark mark on military history, and at the same time reminded us of the importance of quality control and careful consideration in the development of weapons. If not kept clean, the oil pump used to lubricate the bullets made cleaning the Breda Modello 30 a nightmare for any soldier. To overcome the problem of the loading lip being damaged when disassembling and assembling, the designer fixed the magazine to the breech. Each time the gunner loaded ammunition, he had to rotate the magazine forward, use the 20-round magazine clip to load the bullets, and then continue firing. This method of loading reduced the actual rate of fire to about 150 rounds per minute under ideal conditions, and even lower when the gun was dirty or the magazine clip was bent. Like the Shasha, The Breda Modello 30's magazine opening allowed the gunner to check the remaining ammunition, but also allowed sand and dirt to easily enter, reducing the gun's reliability. Moving on to another example from Japan, the Nambu Type 94, developed in 1934 and used during World War II, is notorious as one of the worst handgun designs ever used by the military. Despite its purpose of providing light and compact firepower, the Nambu Type 94 had serious problems. The gun used the 8mm Nambu round, which had a low velocity and poor ballistic performance, making it underpowered and unsuitable for combat duty, only effective at close range. The Nambu Type 94's magazine held 6 rounds, too few for any engagement. Additionally, the high chamber pressure could make it difficult to insert new magazines, and the small buttstock required soldiers to use a lot of force to reload. The bottom of the magazine was not solid, causing bullets to fall out if not careful. Additionally, the magazine latch protruded from the frame, making it prone to slipping out when holstering the gun, and the buttstock tapered from top to bottom, making it prone to being thrown out of the hand when fired hard. In addition to the aforementioned flaws, the Nambu Type 94 also had a serious flaw. It would automatically fire if dropped or handled carelessly. This led to rumors among Allied soldiers in the Pacific Theater that the Japanese might feign surrender and let the gun fire on its own, killing their enemies. The rumor was so widespread that the Nambu Type 94 was sarcastically referred to as the surrender pistol. Despite this, the Imperial Japanese Army continued to use the gun until the end of the war, with around 70,000 produced. Production quality declined over time, and the gun was initially given to tank and aircraft crews, hoping they would never have to use it. However, due to lack of resources, the Japanese were forced to widely use the Nambu Type 94. Next up, a gun that looked modern and rugged, but was a complete failure, the Gyrojet rocket launcher. Developed in the early 1960s by a small California company called Emb Associates, the Gyrojet was supposed to revolutionize small arms. With its ability to fire underwater, without making much noise, and with a powerful firepower, the Gyrojet seemed like a breakthrough. However, in reality, the gun was extremely inaccurate and unreliable. The gun's effective attack capability was only demonstrated at distances of 36 to 55 meters. Some American soldiers carried the Gyrojet to the Vietnam battlefield, but there were no reports of its success. By the late 1960s, the project was canceled. The Gyrojet used armor-piercing shells with rocket motors and stabilization components, but due to its slow acceleration, the gun was almost useless at short range. The Gyrojet's reliability was very poor, with a high jam rate even under ideal conditions. Accuracy was also low due to the bullet's instability in the early stages of its trajectory. Furthermore, the Gyrojet's manufacturing and maintenance costs were high, not worth the disadvantages it brought. The only plus point of this weapon was that it was quite silent, unlike a conventional gun. Regardless, the Gyrojet remains a memorable part of the history of personal weapon development, as one of the rare attempts to create a unique combat weapon. If at the beginning of the video we saw the Breda Modello 30 machine gun with a poor design that is hard to compete with, then here is one of the worst pistol designs, the Glenti Model 1910, also known as the Italian Luger. This is the first semi-automatic pistol used by the Italian Army in World War II, designed by inventor Bethel Abiel Ravelli to replace the outdated Bodio Model 1889 revolver. The Glenti was originally designed to use the 7.56 by 22mm round, but when tested, the Italian Army quickly became disappointed with the gun's lack of power. They decided to modify the Glenti to use the 9 by 19mm parabellum round, like the German Luger. However, because the original design was for a smaller round, the Glenti was not strong enough to withstand the force of the parabellum round, leading to the risk of the gun exploding when fired. To remedy this, the Italians developed a special cartridge for the Glenti, keeping the same size but reducing the amount of gunpowder. The result was a gun with significantly worse ballistics than other pistols of the same caliber. Another serious problem was that the Glenti's bullets could easily be mistaken for standard parabellum bullets. If a soldier accidentally loaded the wrong bullet, the gun could be damaged or injured. Additionally, due to its weak construction and loose screws, the Glenti often disassembled itself unexpectedly. Despite this, the gun remained in service. Although with low damage and a magazine capacity of only 7 rounds, it offered no advantage over older revolvers. The Glenti was eventually phased out in 1945 after the introduction of the popular Beretta M34. The final gun on today's list is a failed attempt to combine the revolver design with a rifle, the Colt Model 1855 carbine. Manufactured by the Colt Company, famous for its revolvers, the Model 1855 was designed to provide the American cavalry with a revolver-style rifle. It was produced in 4-barrel lengths and 3 calibers. However, the design failed because the firing of the percussion cap bullets created a lot of hot gases that ignited other bullets in the cylinder, causing damage and injury to the user. Although the Model 1855 was adopted by the U.S. Army, it was quickly scrapped due to serious safety concerns. The service life of this gun was short, with only a few thousand produced, making it one of the most embarrassing failures in firearms history. The history of firearms is filled with examples of innovation and success, but also serious failures, reflecting the challenges of design and manufacturing. Each of the guns mentioned at the beginning of the video is a testament to flawed design, shoddy manufacturing, and impractical ideas, resulting in weapons that are remembered as embarrassing failures. However, these failures are also a reminder to designers that technological progress is always accompanied by trial and error. Not every ambitious idea can withstand the rigors of reality. So, which of the guns featured in this video, the Breda Modello 30, Nambu Type 94, Jet, Glenti Model 1910, and Colt Model 1855, do you think is the worst? Or are there any others that we missed? Share your thoughts in the comments.